We're here to say hey and let you in.
What are you waiting for, hon?
Let the episode begin. The girl in
Pink and the boy in
blue. But forget the heteronorms. We're for all of you. She from the north.
He from the south.
Millennial to Gen Z. All these differences.
Girl, you're just like me.
Pop culture obsessed, and it's your turn to breathe. So come
dive
dive into the world of the poppy scene. Boom! Hello.
Hiya, hon.
And welcome to the Poppy Seed Pod. Rewind! We're your host, Jacob David.
And Sadie McKenzie.
And this is the third and final episode on pop group splits, which shook pop culture.
Oh, yes, pet. And this episode, we are going full girl power as we look at what brought some of our favourite girl groups to call it quits.
Get comfy, as this episode involves a conveyor belt of pop star huns. And we'll see how we keep up with the ever-rotating lineups of some of your 90s and noughties girl groups.
Let's say no more, babes, and hit the rewind button.
Ba-boom. The Poppy Seed Pod.
Ha ha.
Now, talking about rotating lineups, we ended our second episode with our girls over in Destiny's Child. We, of course, acknowledge legend Kelly Rowland being the lady to pass the baton over to our gals in Little Mix when she formed the group in boot camp. But Kelly was not the only girl group icon out here shaping the next generation of pop bands.
Oh, that is right. Our girl, Nicole Cher Singer, who put together the boys of One Direction back in 2010. Can you believe?
Yes, I can, Sarah. But before Shazzy was out here as the iconic X Factor judge she came to be, she spearheaded the charge in one of the tensest, messiest, and imbalanced girl group dynamics we've seen, and the iconic group split which came to follow.
Oh yes, we're talking the Pussycat Dolls.
The Dolls!
But we're only going to skim the surface of this band's beef, as oh my, it runs so deep. We love the Dolls here at the Poppy Seed Pod.
We do.
And reckon a Pussycat Dolls rewind may need to be somewhere on the horizon.
Shout out Kimberly's leg tilt.
Yes. But we can't mention pop group splits without acknowledging the messiness of Pussycat Dolls.
First came Diana Ross and the Supremes, and then followed Nicole Scherzinger and the Pussycat Dolls. And just like their predecessors, the imbalances within the group got wonky. The group originally rose to prominence as a burlesque dance group in LA and were formed by Robin Anton to become a music group, shooting to stardom with their first single, Don't Ya, with Nicole's vocals at the helm.
Now, while most of the girls were initially hired for the group as dancers, singers Melody Thornton and Nicole Scherzinger were brought into the group to provide lead vocals. Eventually, this got to the other girls.
Nicole was always seen as the lead of the band and was really the only one who ever sang significantly throughout their tracks, let's be honest. Now, this, of course, led to tensions between all the girls, particularly with Melody Thornton, who had also been brought into the group with the purpose of singing vocals, and she was not a dancer like the other girls were. And
it's well documented fact that Scherzinger often recorded entire albums for the Pussycat Dolls by herself, once admitting in 2012 that she sang 95% of the vocals for the group. Ooh. This caused issues between the pair, which came to light during two iconic, messy pop girly performances. Melody went on to say that during her time in the band, I lost so much confidence and felt really worthless. She never felt insecure until she joined that girl group.
Well, look, we may not see all the drama which goes on behind the scenes, but thanks to some of these iconic performances of their hit Buttons, we definitely see the tension play out in real time live on stage.
Oh, yes. And we cannot get enough of it,
we,
Jacob?
I'm obsessed. I've been obsessed.
But it is a real sign of just how toxic it had become between the ladies of the Pussycat Dolls.
I mean, when it's spilling out into a live performance, you know it ain't looking good backstage.
Right.
So there's so many memes of this performance now.
Of course, yes.
The iconic performance which has gone viral of, you can see Nicole giving Melody the side eye. So for those that don't know, the end of Buttons is really the only time in 5 years when Melody really gets a chance to show that she's got some vocals in her.
And did she take that chance?
Yes, she did. And Nicole wasn't best impressed to see it.
No.
And whilst we've got this viral performance that everyone knows, I know that you guys that are listening, you're like, oh, yeah, we know the one.
She struts down forward, They look at each other. They know there's tension.
It's messy. But you know what my favourite performance of Buttons is?
Do tell.
It's the one at the American Music Awards in 2006, right? And
Okay.
it's absolute chaos. So the performance starts, they're all on this like big staircase and they're working their way down the staircase throughout the song. But Melody isn't on stage for this.
Okay.
So it's only 5 of the girls up there doing the choreography, doing the first 3/4 of the song. And you can see, you know, there's a bit of discourse. Where's Melody? What's going on? The audience is slightly confused, but we're going with it because the one that matters, Nicole, is there. They get to the front and it's getting to the end of the song. And all of a sudden, we see someone run out onto the stage and start screaming. Sorry, singing.
Well, it's almost like she managed to untie the ropes just in time.
It was like Nicole had locked her up backstage and said, bitch, this is my moment.
Right? And what's even funnier, like a list that is iconic as Katie Price's Bad Year, Melody went on to say, well, you know, I was ill. I was on medication. I lost my passport. I missed a flight from Germany. I just didn't know the choreography. But really, like you say, Jacob, they've done this performance many times.
Yeah, but obviously she wasn't included until that very end.
Oh. Well, although certainly tensions between the women existed, Melody blamed the management and not actually Nicole in the end. People would assume, she said, that I was so mad at Nicole because she sang and I didn't. Well, no, that was her dream and it was coming true for her. I just wanted it for myself too. I am a phenomenal vocalist.
Slay.
You just never heard it. It wasn't Nicole's fault. Which I think is a fair comment
Yeah.
to say.
Yeah, very balanced.
Now, Melody went on to say that she did go through therapy to deal with everything that went on in the band, and she actually avoided the 2019 reunion.
Probably best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kimberly Wyatt chipped in, and she said, it's true, there has always been a lot of focus on Nicole, which has certainly been hard to deal with sometimes. The group was created with a foundation. They knew exactly what they wanted, and they had Nicole as the focus. I wasn't in the videos like I wanted, and I wasn't seen in a way I was hoping, which has been the same for all the other girls too.
Yeah. In her stint on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, back in 2012, group member Ashley Roberts explains to the other campmates that the other girls were barred from talking in interviews, with Nicole instructed to do the speaking on behalf of the group. Very similar to our OG girl group, the Supremes. An unfortunate crossover there.
We have to mention another iconic girl band crossover beef with Cheryl or Sheza. Now, that interview has resurfaced of her saying Nicole couldn't make it as a solo singer. I mean, it's shady as fuck.
The girls are just slagging off the Pussycat Dolls.
It's really bad.
You know what? I miss that era of like unfiltered
No
PR.
PR training.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, eventually, Pussycat Dolls went on to split in 2009 after a world tour and numerous hit songs. Now, this was due to tensions with Nicole being centre stage and her star really was rising. Now, after our worldwide pandemic, it actually put a stop to their reunion. Now, we wait to see what the future holds for this group.
Things somehow got even messier with the reunion cancellation, as whilst the pandemic was used as somewhat of an official excuse, there have been ongoing legal battles between Nicole and the founder of the group, Robin Antin, regarding the terms of the group's business ventures. And when Nicole cancelled doing the tour, allegedly the cancellation was announced to the public without the other girls' knowledge.
Oh my goodness, that is harsh.
So sorry, Sarah. Don't hold your breath for the reunion taking place anytime soon.
Love a cheeky pun. Over these episodes, we've looked at lots of reasons that led to the split of bands, and now the years have passed. They've grown up. Many are back on talking terms, or even reuniting.
Lovely.
But this band beef, oh no, it's still going strong 23 years later. This bomb well and truly went off with plenty of catfights.
Meow.
But what else would we expect from these kittens? Get ready for some drama.
Drama, mama.
It's Atomic Kitten time. Atomic Kitten have really had quite the variety, so stick with me.
I'm listening.
Now, first established in 1997 in Liverpool, this band are the definition of the jeans and a nice top. The original lineup featured Liz McLaren, Kerry Katona,
Icon.
and Heidi Ray.
Oh my God, icon.
Yeah, you did hear me right. Pop royalty, Heidi Range of the Sugababes. So we know it worked out pretty well for her, but her humble beginnings started in this pop group. But it didn't last long, as tensions soon grew between Liz and Heidi. And get this, Jacob, last year, our Kerry, she spilled the beans, revealing that Heidi Range quit Atomic Kitten after she had a fight with fellow bandmate Liz. Kerry went on to say that Heidi walked out of the band after, and I'm going to quote, someone got slapped.
Oh.
I know. So Range quite rightly decided to quit and was replaced by Natasha Hamilton. It's a very, very small pop world.
It is, oh my gosh.
I know.
Slapped?
Yes.
Oh my word.
In the words of Dua Lipa, it got physical.
Oh, Dula Peep.
They released their first album right now in 2000.
What? Oh.
Yeah, the album was called Right Now. And it entered at number 39 on the charts. It just snuck in there. Now, the three-piece went on to have 4 top 10 singles with this album, including See Ya, which I will die on the hill that is the best Atomic Kitten song of all time. However, in this ever fickle music industry, the label actually wanted to drop them as they hadn't had the sales expected from them. But the girls begged them to let them release one more song, and thank God they did, as this song was Whole Again. It went straight to number 1 and stayed there for 4 weeks, and the rest is Poppy C history. But just in case the timeline's a little hazy for you, let me fill you in. It was actually really bad timing for founding member Kerry Katona, as she had decided to quit the band a mere 4 weeks before Whole Again reached number 1. So there is actually a Kerry version out there. Now, at the time, Kerry was dating Brian McFadden, of course, of boy band Westlife, and they had created a wee pop baby.
Oh.
She announced she was leaving the band, and at the time, it was put down to the pregnancy. However, there had been ongoing tensions between the girls, especially about Kerry's popularity.
Oh.
Yeah, Jacob, that is right. I am old enough to remember a time when Kerry Katona was really cool.
Oh, what do you mean?
I know, we love our girl Kerry, but I mean, she was like the pop girly that everyone wanted to be. Now, of course, over the years, she's achieved true Hun status.
I mean, she's the queen of the supermarket Iceland.
Right? And she's had a pretty hectic and public love life.
Oh, yeah. Can I pause to acknowledge she had a relationship with star of Emily in Paris, Lucien Le Viscount? I mean, I can't imagine a more random match, but that's truly fantastic of Kerry.
It really is, and quite a glow up from her exes. But the reality was, she used to be the most popular member. At most gigs, fans were screaming her name.
Oh.
And years later, she discussed how it was difficult for her within the band, and the main reason that she left was this. She said, I remember some of the fights we had in Atomic Kitten back in the day. Just wait for it. Once, Liz punched me from behind after we had a little row.
What?
I was furious and got my own back, she said. I made her, this is a very naughty sentence, shall I just say? Loved the early 2000s. I made her get changed in the toilets of SMTV Live, and then I stamped on her feet while we were singing Whole Again. Just, standard Atomic Kitten behaviour.
These girls were getting into it.
Oh, they were not happy.
Oh, this is so messy.
Yes. Enter Jenny Frost. Jenny Frost, formerly of the not-so-well-known band Precious. She replaced Kerry Katona in 2001. So now we have Hamilton, McLaren and Frost. Sounds like a Formula 1 lineup. But this was actually the final and most successful lineup of Atomic Kitten. And they had hits like Tide is High and Eternal Flame.
Oh, yes. So essentially covers.
Yeah.
But slay! I mean, I've got to say, Tide is High went platinum in my house thanks to the intro of the Lizzie McGuire movie. Love it.
I did not know that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I love that it was passed down to you. But even though Kerry had left the band, new girl Jenny seemed to have beef with her and continued the fighting, saying she would rather eat her own kidney than work with Kerry.
I'm really actually quite shook at how aggressive these girls were to one another.
Aggressive is the word, right? And public about it. They're just telling people.
It was a different time. It was a different time.
So Jenny seemed to be rather annoyed with the suggestion of a 4-piece, including Kerry. Shots fired. So it then went full circle with Kerry Katona actually reuniting with the original lineup. Now, Kerry's return meant that Jenny was booted out. And she told Closer, I'm not in contact with the girls anymore. Well, I think it's a real shame, but I didn't like how things were handled with the reunion and Kerry replacing me.
What goes around comes around, goes around, come around, back around.
Justin learned that, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So Jenny actually stayed with the band until 2004. There was, of course, multiple reunions that followed, including 2 with Kerry, which ended due to Kerry calling Natasha a toxic. Yeah, it got bad.
Oh my gosh.
I think this was probably the chavviest girl band we had. Don't come for me. Now, remember the big reunion, that TV show?
Yeah.
They did that. But weirdly now, it's just a duo of Liz and Natasha.
I mean, hey, if that's the only way for it to work without them going at each other with fists and stamps and C words, then that's good for them.
I think so. Just keep it that way. And yes, of course, Naughty's band revivals they're just huge at the moment. But I'm not sure there is much of a demand for Atomic Kitten. Oof. And I'm not being shady. I just think as much as I love and respect how they played a part in raising me, they don't really have the same quality of hits compared to our other bands or pop girlies. Is that fair?
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got Hole again. Thanks, girls.
That's all we needed. Never in recent history has a pop group had as many members as our sugary babes, the Sugababes. They truly are the definition of a pop star conveyor belt. But yet it did seem to work. Perhaps because all the women were very talented and every formation did work well. And work it did for over 13 years. Now all this sugar but seemed to be lacking some sweetness towards each other.
Well, throughout their time as a group, they achieved 6 UK #1 singles and 18 UK top 10s. They released 7 albums and a greatest hits album. Of those, 6 were UK top 10 albums. The girls sold over 12 million records worldwide, won a Brit Award, and of course, they gave us absolute bangers like Hole in the Head, Push the Button, and 2 Lost in You, to name a mere few. Thank you for your service to the Poppy C universe.
Yes, now of course, we were both huge fans, but here creeps in our rather hilarious difference in generations, because it is really interesting to hear, isn't it? Like where we fell into Sugababes.
And which lineup we connected with.
Yeah, and as your in-house millennial, I was there from the start, of course. I loved their first stuff, but let's be real, when Heidi joined and they released Freak Like Me, oh my goodness, my tiny little tween brain was blown. That is when I became a full-time babe. It's just really nostalgic when you look back at like their cool, edgy music videos, but they were accessible. And I think the difference was they brought that kind of garage R&B, but it was British. Mm-hmm. And it was really London influence. So I loved watching their music videos because it was so different to like the kind of American style. It felt gritty. They were in a club.
Yeah, no, totally. It was so different to the Americanized girl groups we'd seen. And even the Spice Girls, who are, we loved them. It was bubblegum. It was bubblegum, feel good, pop, bright colours. And the Sugababes were in a lot of ways an antithesis to that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they were so influential though. And like just nostalgia for me. Because I remember the Round Round video. I freaking loved it. And if you don't remember, it was that big circle stage spinning. They were in the sexy leather outfits. And Jacob, I did copy Heidi's outfit for a little school disco. I had those low-rise leather trousers. I'm talking like hip bones sticking out. R.I.P. to those days. And a matching halter neck top with the pony and the huge quiff.
Sarah, I need photo evidence of this. Please tell me there's a photo somewhere.
Oh, I'm sure there's somewhere.
If there is not, then we're going to recreate this in a 2024 way, okay? Okay, are we on board?
Done.
I need it.
Now, obviously, there is a huge revival in the noughties fashion, but let's be real, Gen Z. If you want to really do it, where's the quiffs? Where's the blue mascara? Where are those butterfly hair clips? I mean, where is the dedication? I'm going to be keeping hold of my high-waisted skinnies as I've done my time in the land of low-rise. Okay, but let's hear from our Gen Z himself. When he entered the babedom, what kind of era was it for you?
I mean, for me, it was primary school. But that's the thing for me. My first memory, really, of the Sugababes was the Push the Button music video.
Right.
Yeah, Push the Button music video. I remember later on when Here Come the Girls came out and it was in all the adverts.
Yes.
Right? And I just remember like all the girls at school being like, "Here come the girls."
Yeah.
And me being like, "Me too."
Now, we know that Heidi Range was clearly pop star material after her brief stint in Atomic Kitten.
That's still blown my mind.
Right? Obviously, very early days. But to quote Louis, she looks like a pop star. She sounds like a pop star.
She is a pop star. That did not sound like Louis.
No, it didn't. Do you want to do it again?
No, we'll go with it, babes.
I love it. She's a pop star. So it's no surprise she finally made it into the pop world. And she was initially signed with a label for a solo career. But when Siobhan left the Sugababes, enter Heidi Range in 2001.
I don't think it can really be argued that when Heidi did join, the group went to new heights. And that famous and unique Sugababe sound was complete. Together as a three, Heidi, Mutia and Keisha bagged their first number one as a group with their first song as a threesome, Freak Like Me, and then their next single, Round Round, also rocketed straight to number one. I think in hindsight, we can look back and definitely acknowledge that this was probably one of the peaks of their fame and success as a group.
Agreed. Now, this band is less one dramatic split, but more continuous shock departures and surprise arrivals. There are a lot of Sugababes, so do try and keep up. We don't want you to get an overload.
Oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there.
So let's start with the original lineup and why that even changed. Now, the band's first members were best friends from school, Mutia and Keisha. Now, I know a lot of bands we've talked about obviously start at a young age, and society as a whole is still battling this idea that someone can actually achieve success after the age of fucking 25. But oh my God, were the Sugababes
It's the
young.
X Factor that's done that to us.
It really has.
Honestly, I turned 25 last year and I thought, right, my days are done. I'm in the overs category now. I'm a joke act to the world.
The next Rylan.
Rylan was not in the over 25s.
What?
Yeah.
God.
We're Wagner, babes.
Oh. Oh God, I am.
No, you're giving Sam Bailey.
I'm definite Sam Bailey. I think you're just giving, we're going to stick him in a boy band and make him the lead.
Liam Payne.
Oh. But Jacob, they were so young. Mutia and Keisha were only 13 when they were signed. 13. And Siobhan was only 14. Initially, both Siobhan and Mutia were signed as solo artists, but this is a bit random. Mutia just invited her best mate Keisha to come along and watch them perform at a showcase, and then they were made into a band. And as they say, the rest was history, so walk this way down memory lane.
Gosh, I love that song.
Yeah, we did get a Sugababes Girls Loud crossover. Now, Sugababes were actually created by the same people behind All Saints, and they were a sort of antidote for bubbly, all-smiling groups like S Club and Steps. Not to shade them, but this was the moody, cool, older cousin version, which was actually a really clever move because many of us millennials had fallen in love with these types of pop bands, the S Clubs, the Steps, and now we were entering our very own moody teen era. So instantly related to this band.
Right, so look, we've already sprinkled you with a few sugar puns. It's only fitting that when covering all the various Sugababes lineups we're about to cover, we take it round at a time.
Round.
1.
Siobhan, Keisha, Mutia. We know this formation began as the wee Sugababes. Quite literally, that's what this group of tweens were called. They were formed in 1998 by founder Ron Tom, which I'm quite obsessed with his name.
I love it.
Quickly updated their name to the Sugababes to appeal to a slightly more mature audience.
I get that. Oh, I got a fun little fact actually about this era of the Sugababes. Music producer Cameron McVeigh worked with them on their music throughout this first era, and he used to have his small daughter in and around the studio with them whilst recording. How cute, how sweet.
Aww.
But guess who this little girl grew up to be?
Oh, I don't know.
Only Brit Award winner Mabel.
Oh, no way.
Can you believe? Oh, no, give me mad love.
Love a bit
Yeah.
Mabel. See,
Yeah.
those Sugababes shaped a generation. In 2000, the girls released their first track, Overload. It was a real mixture of indie, R&B and pop, and it charted at number 6 in the UK charts and was nominated for a Brit that year. So I would say a pretty solid start into the world of poppy C.
Yeah, pretty solid.
However, Jacob, cue that drama, as trouble was already on the horizon. During a promotional tour in Japan in August 2001, Siobhan announced that she was leaving the band to pursue a career in fashion. Bit random. However, it did come out later that she was actually diagnosed at the time with clinical depression, which is really sad to hear.
That's surprising, but also really not. When I look at all the research that we've done over these groups for all these episodes, the amount that these groups are overworked and the immense amount of pressure that they're placed under, it's actually quite unsurprising to think that so many of them, and it's sad to see that for so many of them, depression becomes such a huge reality in their lives.
Yeah, it is. Now, the label was not impressed that the album only made 26 in the charts and dropped the girls. So yeah, talk about what you were talking about. Years later, in 2009, Siobhan spoke to The Sun.
Oh no, don't do that, Siobhan. Siobhan!
No, never do that. And in a quote that reminded me of the now infamous Agatha Christie, Colleen Rooney / Rebecca Vardy saga, Siobhan was quoted as saying, "There was no doubt that I was pushed out. It was clear there was someone in the band who never wanted me in it. And that is... dun dun dun... Keisha." Oh. "She never wanted me in that band and made my life a living hell. I'll never forgive her. Though no one forgives that first bully in their lives, do they? No one does."
Wowza.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Siobhan was just letting it all out.
Yeah. She came, she spoke, the catfights began. Oh, the B word has entered the arena, and bullying allegations will follow this band in all their forms throughout their career.
Messy. Round.
2. Enter Heidi, Keisha, and Mutia. What I would call peak era. And who I think many people think of when you say the Sugababes.
Yeah, I agree.
So this was a strong time for the Sugababes between 2001 and 2005. They were whacking out belters of albums, including bops like Freak Like Me, Round Round, Hole in the Head, Shape, and their first ballad, Stronger. Sounds just like that. It was really going well for the girls, but of course they were always plagued by rumours of in-band fighting. It has now come out that when Heidi first joined the band, Mutia literally didn't talk to her.
What? I mean, my gosh.
I know.
Can you imagine just joining a band, being the new girl on the scene, and she just doesn't speak to you?
It's crazy.
That's awkward, to say the
very.
least.
She's already had that Atomic Kitten drama.
Right. Heidi, we feel for you.
Mm-hmm. Now, by 2005, they were on to their 4th studio album. This would be the 3rd for Heidi. And they released Taller in More Ways. Now, this latest album gave us the absolute pop banger of Push the Button.
Oh, yes.
And of course, we all know that Mutia is in that iconic Lift video. But in December of 2005, Mutia decided it was time to quit the band. Now, she had just given birth to her first child, and now looking back, knows that she was suffering with postnatal depression, which must have been so bloody hard. It's hard enough giving birth and becoming a new mum, but to deal with that and to be in a pop band. She said that she was recording at 5 a.m, trying to breastfeed a baby. Oh my goodness, Jacob, I'm stressed thinking about it.
So, management replaced her with Amel. The era I definitely remember quite clearly for my age as well. But this era is so messy. Like, they literally replaced the band member as they dropped a new album. So this girl was not even on the album.
Oh gosh.
If you go on Spotify or Apple Music or wherever you get your music, depends what team you are, you'll see that it says Amel Remix on some of the tracks. They actually had to re-record some of the songs, but weirdly only some of them. They just thought, we'll do a select few. Not all of them. Now, that album ended up being the group's first UK #1 album. So, I mean, wow, congratulations to the 4 of them.
This is it. It reminds me of like Kerry Katona. Bad timing.
Yeah, hold it out a bit longer and you get your #1.
The group was #1 on the singles, album, airplay and download charts simultaneously, making them the first girl group to achieve such a feat. And just to feed into the narrative of fighting between the members, our Siobhan from
Round
1 talked about Mutia's departure. And when asked, was she surprised that Mutia left, she said, "I could see that it was a toxic enough environment that someone else might." Ouch. Round, round.
3.
Really got me. Okay. This is our years from 2005 to 2009. Enter Amel, Keisha, Heidi. So even messier than them entering a third lineup era is the rather hilarious fact that in 2006, so this is 1 year after Amel joined, they release the greatest hits album Overloaded, the singles collection. Okay, Jacob, first of all, Amel is only on one of those songs. Secondly, they've named it Overloaded after the first album, which only one member who's left actually sang on. Honestly, it's madness.
But we all seemed to be going with it at the time. There was no big kickoff from the fans just yet.
Yeah, probably due to the fact that they were still making great music. And I feel like at this time, I was really oblivious to the crossover of albums and members and singles and who sang on what song. Honestly, I was just having a lovely wee time singing along.
I do feel like in this era, their sound definitely shifted from that sort of original garage, R&B, gritty, edgy vibe to a much more of a pop princess, girly pop vibes. And we love both.
Yeah.
But there did seem to be a transition throughout their career of it pivoting from what it originally was to what it then became.
Absolutely.
But that probably came with the rotating lineup of members. So.
Yeah, 100%. And the first release of this trio, and let's say their own sound, rather than just singing the previous lineup's hits, came with the release of their album in 2007, aptly named Change. Crap name, but I do get it.
That's what it says on the tin.
Yeah, it's time for a change. Another one. Now, by this point, I feel like I'd really been on quite a journey with Sugababes. But Jacob, babe, you were just getting started.
Yeah, well, look, Change's biggest hit was About You Now, which is, oh my gosh, such a bop. Followed by the 2008 album with the strange name Catfights and Spotlights. I mean, I think they're kind of just leaning into the drama at this point, which I have to admire. This is where we are unfortunately nearing the true beginning of the end. Cue more bullying allegations.
Ooh.
And it's Keisha again. Apparently, both Amel and Heidi were miserable. Many even thought Amel had left the band after having missed a couple of appearances.
New member alert!
Fresh off her performance in Eurovision 2009, Jade Ewan was in the wings, ready to replace her. But management decided, rather than replace 2 members who were unhappy, they would just get rid of one. Original Sugababe Keisha.
And we officially enter the era of Sugababes with no original Sugababes.
This was the biggest pushback from the fans, with many taking Keisha's side, especially after she tweeted that she had found out along with the fans.
Ooh.
Although it was not my choice to leave, it's time to enter a new chapter in my life. I would like to state that there were no arguments, bullying, or anything of the sort that led to this. Sometimes a breakdown in communication and lack of trust can result in many different things.
Round, round.
4!
This is an era from 2009 to 2011. Jade, Amel, and Heidi.
This was the first time without an OG Sugababe, so maybe unsurprisingly this era didn't last as long. This lineup delivered one album, Sweet 7, in 2010, but fans were losing interest by this point, and it felt like the essence of the Sugababes it was gone by this point.
I agree, babes. Rather than officially splitting, the girls went on a classic hiatus, and in a last catty move, fans have agreed that they did this on purpose. And why, you may ask? Well, this is because the original lineup then couldn't use the name Sugababes. Hence why we got a very random MKS for Mutia, Keisha and Siobhan in 2011. In 2013, fans only finally got the split confirmed after Jade spoke out saying, "We kind of fizzled out about 2 years ago in 2011. I do think the lineup changes have obviously got to be a factor. You can't get away from it." Heidi also went on to say, "It would not have been fair for them to continue further due to the controversy and their declining popularity after Keisha's departure." So it turns out you do need at least one Sugababe to make the Sugababes work. And that is where fans finally put their foot down.
Round
5.
And as of 2019, the girls came back in their original lineup. They have all refuted the original bullying claims. And recently, Siobhan has spoken much more highly about her time with Keisha, saying, look, we were just both young and nervous. They're all adults now, and they can see how much pressure they were under as literal children.
Yeah.
They played Glastonbury in 2022 to an enormous crowd, and their performance led to an entire field being closed due to overcrowding. I mean, look, it's fair to say the fans have welcomed them back with open arms as we enter yet another Sugababes era. I can't keep up any longer, Sarah.
I'm absolutely exhausted. Now, the existence of the Sugababes really proved that you can replace members throughout all the messy confrontations, but as long as the essence of the band was somehow still intact, it could work, as long as there are at least one of the OG members.
The impact they made really does shine a light on the darker side of the music industry, using these girls to create a brand bigger than the members themselves, treating them as easily disposable and interchangeable. It's a rough, tough industry.
Oh, and that sure showed it. So it seems we've saved the best for last. Now, personally, this band has had the biggest impact on me out of any, which I'm sure a lot of you will agree with me on. How do we even begin to describe the impact that this band has had on pop culture? They are the biggest girl group of all time. These 5 women have achieved phenomenal success as a group and individually, and have influenced and inspired generations, especially the girls, gays and theys.
It is, of course, the Spice Girls!
Spice Girls!
Jerry Halliwell, Melanie Brown, Emma Bunton, Victoria Adams and Melanie Chisholm all responded to an advert in a newspaper looking to form a girl band. And thus, this is where the Spice Girls was born.
We could talk to you for the rest of this episode just about the Spice Girls' early days alone. But we're going to save a lot of that info because we are most definitely going to give these pop culture icons their own episode series from the early days through to their incredible success, that movie, the solo careers, and what they're doing now.
We'll dive in deep at a later date.
The Spice Girls bounced into our lives in 1996 with an explosion of girl power singing Wannabe, the iconic video filmed in a then very run-down St Pancras hotel. Now, these 5 girls were jumping, dancing, backflipping and wobbling on heels. And that was it. We were all hooked on sporty, ginger, baby, scary and posh. After came hit after hit of pop perfection and a #1 album worldwide. They had a movie, Spice World, world tours, a second hit album, and kids everywhere were kitted out in all things Spice, including lunchboxes, bedding, stationery, toiletries, don't forget that good old Impulse Spice Girls, lollipops and platform shoes. There were over 200 items, Jacob.
Insane.
I feel like I had 198.
The true queens of branding.
Oh, the OGs. But that was it. The obsession took over with the fans, me included. And it truly was the 90s version of Beatlemania.
Yeah.
Every school show or kid's birthday party, there was some kid or all kids were dressed as their favourite Spice Girl.
Who was yours?
Oh, it's such a hard question. But I was definitely between Jerry and Posh.
Okay.
You?
For me, okay, I was between Scary and Baby.
Love that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sporty.
I love sport. Now,
Yeah.
Now, I'd like, if there's ever like a dress up as a Spice Girl, I'd be like, I'll be Sporty Spice.
Oh, fun. I think if it was dress up, I'd want to be still Jerry or Victoria.
Yeah.
Yeah, stuck with it. I actually do remember getting the VHS of the Spice World movie, and it came in this like metal tin, and you could choose what Spice Girl. I had Victoria, but like I say, it was always a toss-up between Vicky and Jerry.
Well, speaking of Jerry, it's been well documented that she was often the leader, and at the start instigated them to steal their demos and leave their first management to find someone better.
Oh, they were so badass. They were just a ball of energy and a force to be reckoned with.
Totally. I mean, Jerry has said that she just knew that they had something special and they were going to be successful. And when auditioning for management in the industry, they viewed it as the Spice Girls interviewing them and seeing if they liked them.
Good.
As they should.
Yeah. Now, the one that they did like and finally settled on was Simon Fuller. Now, he saw them through amazing success with their first album, Spice, producing 4 number ones.
Wow.
I know. And they were so good. Wannabe, To
Bop.
Become One,
Love.
Safe Sex, thank you.
Whoop.
Say You'll Be There.
Love.
And the double little single when they did that back in the day. Who Do You Think You Are / Mama, I Love You. Now, their second album, Spice World, in 1997, gave us number 1 hits like Spice Up Your Life,
Love it.
Too Much, and Viva Forever.
That was a bit. I felt like that gave me spooky ooky vibes. That
So
song.
good. The Spice Girls went on to sell 100 million records worldwide, making them the best-selling girl group of all time, and one of the best-selling artists, and one of the most successful British pop acts since the Beatles.
Yeah. As we saw with the Beatles and the extreme level of success they experienced, this is where the problem started. The girls felt like they were being pushed to exhaustion and had such a grueling schedule from filming their movie while rehearsing for a world tour. They weren't able to see their family or their partners. And don't forget, at this point, Vicky B, well, she wasn't Vicky B at this point technically, but she was engaged to the most famous footballer in the world, of course, David Becks, and gradually building the brand of Beckham. These girls all wanted some change.
Jerry once again took the lead and suggested that they fire Simon as he was pushing them too far and they wanted more control. So, in November 1997, the morning of their performance at the MTV Europe Music Awards, they got their lawyer to make their call and they fired Simon Fuller.
These girls were savage.
Oh, girl power.
Girl power.
Now, they went on to perform Spice Up Your Life and won for Best Group. They finally had full control. But with that came even more work and pressure.
Yeah, times 10.
Right? And Jerry took that role on of trying to manage the band.
Oof.
I think you can see where I'm going with this. I think it's important to note, though, that they were one of the first bands that took on the music industry. They managed themselves. These Spice Girls were great songwriters. Babes, they wrote all their songs.
I think that is a really important point to make because I think so often the Spice Girls are talked about in quite a degrading way, that they're nothing more than little music industry puppets that just did the song on the dance and put on the cute little outfits for the branding and nothing more.
Mm-hmm. But they were the creative geniuses behind it.
Literally, on every level.
Yeah. But of course, they were dealing with a lot more pressure now. And the whirlwind of being a Spice Girl was taking its toll on all the members. And it was actually starting to feel a little bit more like prison. Now, in a shocking move, on the 31st of May, 1998, only 2 years since the Spice Girls had released Wannabe, Jerry quit the Spice Girls. I'm getting goosebumps now, Jacob. I remember watching the dramatic moment as her lawyer made the announcement. It shook the pop world. She cited differences within the band, classic, but later she did admit that depression and eating disorders had played a part. Now, the part that I always remember about the announcement, and I was clinging on to that tiny bit of hope, was when she said, P.S. I'll be back. And of course, I got my wish, and so did we all. Come back she did, and what an amazing solo career she had. But that's for another time. Mi chico latino.
The Spice Girls also had a statement wishing her all the best and stating, friendship never ends. But oh, the irony of that statement. And maybe it was a dig, because what made it super messy and even more shocking considering their bond was that Jerry quit in the middle of a world tour.
Ooh.
And they were about to embark on a 3-month tour of America. So the other Spice Girls must have been livid. Mm-hmm. And also so confused, because Jerry had not mentioned it at all to the girls. And considering how close they were, they all felt incredibly betrayed. She was laughing and joking with them as they landed from their European tour, and the next day totally blindsided them. She said goodbye like it was nothing. See you tomorrow, babes. But she didn't.
Not cool. Their last performance as a 5, although we didn't know it at the time, was on the 16th of May 1998. They performed Viva Forever on Top of the Pops 2 weeks before the split. Now, if you watch this back, Jerry literally looks like she was in mourning. She's wearing a black cardigan and has a black kind of long skirt, just not Spice Girly. She was fully checked out, and at the time, she did say she couldn't think of a future with the Spice Girls.
Given we now know all the things that she was feeling and experiencing at the time, her whole world was blurred. Like, that's so understandable, really.
Yeah. At this point, Ginger Spice was done.
Yeah.
And that left a big crack between the once famous friends. Victoria had said that she thought it was a joke when Jerry's lawyer called. I mean, you would. She went on to say, I'd known Jerry for years. We shared a room together. We'd been through the most extraordinary experiences of our lives together. She was one of my best friends. And now she had walked out without a word. What I felt was anger at the selfishness of it all. Then betrayal.
Gosh, yeah. Because, of course, all these girls in their own ways were feeling exhausted, tired, probably some form of depression. Oof. I mean, Mel B, love her, told Loose Women that she was desperately hurt when Jerry quit. She said, what bothered me was not the fact she left, although that did upset me, of course, but the fact she didn't come to me. Mel B and Jerry, who are famously close, very close, in fact, with Mel B recently claiming on Piers Morgan's Life Stories that they had actually slept together.
Well, honestly, I kind of see it.
We were best friends, she said. It just happened.
Ooh.
She, Jerry, is going to hate me for this because she's all posh in her country house and her husband, but it's a fact. It just happened and we just giggled at it and that was it. Oh, she's going to kill me. This was so iconic. Oh, I love how Mel B just can't keep a secret.
I know, it's so good.
I think she's great. You know, I mean, she said as of this year, sometimes she keeps on getting kicked out of the Spice Girls WhatsApp group chat because she just keeps on. She loves to treat us, the fans. You know what I mean? She loves
Thank you, Scary.
Yes, thank you, Scary, because she gives us a little bit too much of a tease.
Yeah.
And the girls say, Mel, it's supposed to be a surprise, babe.
What are you doing, babe?
Well, of course, our fancy girl, Jerry, denied it. And it caused a bit of a rift between the women. Some have even speculated that the dynamic between Mel B and Jerry played a part in Jerry leaving originally.
Maybe it was a lesbian relationship that brought down the Spice Girls.
Can you believe? Back in 1998, Mel actually had said to a reporter, they didn't need Jerry anymore. Ooh. But I think, of course, it's a classic case of feelings are hurt. We're going to lash out a little bit.
Yeah.
You're saying something, I'm going to say something, and that back and forth. And it led to them not talking for several years.
When Jerry left the Spice Girls, the media, no surprise, went to town. They were trying to drive more of a wedge between the girls, with Sky News running bulletins every 15 minutes trying to work out where Jerry was.
That's insane.
I know. But what made it worse, Jacob, was the girls thought she might actually change her mind.
Oh, gosh.
So, in an appearance, they said she was ill and couldn't make it. But she was spotted boarding a flight to the south of France.
Oh dear.
I know.
It's not looking likely, girls.
And in fact, she was hiding out at Jacob's doppelganger, George Michael's house.
I will take that gladly. Thank you very much.
I really see it, you know. Well, do you know what? There's worse places for Jerry to be. Now, actually, what was a bit mad about this was she was a huge George Michael fan when she was a kid. She had his poster on the wall, and here she was at his house. But it was here that she started to write new music, and we were about to be gifted with the iconic pop career of Jerry and her album, Schizophonic.
Spice Girls continued on, and maybe Mel was right about not needing Jerry, as the American leg of their tour went on to be the best-selling by a female group.
Wow.
They released their third album, Forever, in 2000. They made us wait quite a while there, but I think Jerry's solo career defo helped fill the void at the time. You would agree, wouldn't you, Sarah?
Oh, absolutely. 2 years was a long time, but Jerry was serving.
Considering that they'd had the rise in their fame and career in just that span of 2 years, for them to then not have 2 years of an album, it was a long wait for you fans.
Like cold turkey. It was a hard time.
Now, Forever, the third album, did give us a few great hits, including the very appropriate Goodbye, My Friend.
Now we never knew, be-ba-doo. It is the end. In March 2000, imagine the setting. The Brits, both Jerry and the Spice Girls are performing. They've not spoken to each other in about 2 years. Jerry does feel shame about abandoning the girls, and so she bloody should. But that bag it up performance, Jacob. Oh, I know we have covered iconic award show performances, but Jerry entered via a pair of legs. These legs opened on stage to Jerry on a pole. God, I really loved that version of Jerry.
Can we go back, please?
The other girls were there because they had won for contribution to the music industry. And they actually shouted Jerry out in their speech, thanking her. But Jerry had left the Brits that night during their performance. Now, don't you think if that was today, that would have been trending on X and reposted everywhere?
But by December 2000, the Spice Girls were no more.
Oh.
They insisted they hadn't split. They were on a break. We've all heard that before. And I guess they weren't wrong, because all of the girls went on to have great solo success.
Oh, I'm quite obsessed with their solo careers.
Oh,
I
me
cannot
too.
wait to cover them. Do you have a favourite solo?
My loyalty lies with Emma Bunton.
Oh, so good. Mel C, though. Oh, there's so many. We'll
Yeah.
get to it. Those wounds and scars didn't really start to heal between the girls until 2006, after Jerry had gained solo success. She'd got some therapy, she'd taken some time out, and of course, the biggest change to her life was becoming a mum to her daughter Bluebell. That was when Jerry felt ready to reconnect with her girls, and she wanted them in her life. Now, there'd been the odd message back and forth between them all, but nothing of substance, until May of 2006. Jerry actually picks up the phone to Emma and asks, can they be friends again?
Oh my gosh, it's like high school.
I know. And Jacob, it seems true friendship never ends. And in a weird twist of fate, Jerry goes from being the one member that left and split the band up to wanting to be a Spice Girl again, and started to write new music with Emma, and was on a mission to get the band back together. And in true Ginger Spice style, she managed.
They reunited in 2007 as a 5-piece and released a new song, Headlines.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that is their worst song, and only the Spice Girls like it.
Speaking for the fans. Now, they played 45 shows in this reunion tour. It grossed 70 million and another 100 million in good old Spice Classic merchandise.
Of course.
Why are we surprised? The 17-night sellout at London's O2 Arena was the highest grossing engagement of the year.
17.
17 nights at the O2?
But there was some tensions between the ladies as early as the press conference announcing the reunion.
Keeping it on brand.
I love this.
Yeah.
So Victoria, Mel C and Emma had stuck to the brief of wearing all black. Mel B had half broken the rules, you know, standard Scary Spice, with a black top but a red satin pencil skirt. And then there's Jerry. And this makes me think Jerry would be a pain in the arse to work with. She rocked up wearing a white maxi floral dress. It looked so out of place. And she'd like crimped hair.
I literally remember the videos of this. I don't know, the videos of them reuniting in the same room before the press got, and them just looking at, it's great. It's so great. They cancelled several gigs this era from apparent arguments. Emma was crying in rehearsals. Victoria was on calls to do with her fashion brand. And she had even pulled in friend Roberto Cavalli to do their costumes. Jerry was stopping rehearsals to meditate. And Mel C was only there under duress, bless her. She said, quote, "They basically said if I didn't want to do it, then they were going to do it anyway. I didn't want to be the person who stopped it being the complete 5. I was scared that I would be the villain."
Oh.
And because Mel C's personal life was really going through it at the time, she shouldered the blame for the mess of the tour. She added, "I wasn't in a very good space with my marriage, and I didn't feel I could go on anymore living in this fake world. It was my fault."
Oh, that really makes me sad.
Me too.
Spice Girls ain't nothing without that Mel C voice.
That part. Swing, shake, move, make. They reunited once again for the 2012 London Olympics. The band performed in the opening ceremony and smashed it, standing atop those Spice-themed London taxi cabs. As of recording this episode, this would be the last time Victoria officially performed as a Spice Girl.
Oh, I'm still not over it. Over the years, there's been numerous feuds between various members, but I think this has to be one of the funniest. Right, it's between Mel B and Vicky B. Now, they fell out over, as we say in Scotland, a jobby.
A what?
A wee poo.
Oh!
So all 5 Spice Girls were on some sort of bonding
Sorry, what?
Yeah, I'm getting to it. Literally, a poo. So they were all on holiday in Hawaii. This was back in 1995. But Victoria's fun was soon stopped when she saw basically Scary's holiday romance lover man taking a shit on the beach and then rinsing himself off in the sea. I know. Jacob, your face says it all. Posh, her face was like this. She was disgusted. And I'm most definitely on her side here. So she went off on one. And Mel was really angry at her, so went off with her lover, Nulu, and spent some days sleeping under the stars and...
shitting on the beach.
But, their relationship has actually probably been the most up and down over the years, with Mel even dressing up as our Victoria Beckham for Heidi Klum's famous Halloween party. She wore a posh mask, a little black dress, and she held an axe that said, "I'm not going on tour."
Oh my gosh, this was recent.
Yes. The kiddos, they've said they're like sisters, so of course they have silly arguments, and that does seem to be what most of them actually are. Well, apart from Jerry actually leaving. But in the last few years, there have been reports that Mel B had called Victoria a bitch, for not joining the reunion. But they're still super close, and in a sweet move, Posh dressed Mel and her mum when she collected her MBE for her work against domestic violence.
I love that. She's also dressed Mel B for her wedding.
She is, yeah.
Yeah.
Most recently, all of our childhood dreams came true when the ladies got back together. Well, almost. Still no Vicky B.
It's a work in progress.
By 2019, I and thousands of other fans had the best night of our lives. Girl power was well and truly back. And watching them reminded me of the truly important impact and change they've made on pop culture. And as a woman, thinking about what they've done for us is truly unparalleled.
The Spice Girls to this day always have that carrot dangling in front of us in the hope that once again, the 5 Spice Girls will be performing together once again.
Perhaps, apart from the Spice Girls, this episode's band splits didn't, necessarily break the hearts of fans the way that the others we've discussed have. I don't think we can ignore the fact that a lot of boy bands are always going to have a more devastating impact on the girls and the gays because we were literally in love with them. But these women, they raised us and shaped us. So we hold on to the hope that they'll one day get back together.
I'm so sorry, Sarah, but I'm going to have to hardcore disagree with you there.
Ooh.
It is unquestionable that the gays live for the girls far more than they do the boys.
Fair.
Never in my life have I seen a guy cheer and cry for One Direction like they do for the Dolls, Destiny's Child, Girls Aloud or Little Mix. I am, however, going to agree with you that the bands this episode, bar the Space Girls, may not have caused mass worldwide hysteria when it came to their breakups or prolonged hiatuses, like groups we covered in the first episode or even the second. But my gosh, these lot firmly left their mark on Poppy C when it came to pure messiness.
And with some of these groups, it didn't feel as devastating because we were almost given a soft breakup before the hard launch due to those ever-changing members.
Yeah. Well, look, we've come to the end of our juicy 3-parter here on the pop group splits, which shook pop culture.
What I would say has been a really positive symptom of a lot of these bands reuniting in recent years is proving that a female pop star doesn't have a sell-by date. She doesn't expire when she's 30, and seeing ghetto bands with women over the age of 40 and 50 and still smashing it is amazing. And they've no doubt broken down barriers in the industry in that aspect.
T. Big slay. Well, we've come to the end of our juicy 3-parter on the pop group splits, which shook pop culture. I think we've seen throughout all 3 of these episodes some very similar patterns across the years when it comes to pop group breakups. How the eventual solo breakout stars will do whatever it takes on occasions to get to the top of that pop group pyramid. And we've seen the enduring loyalty of the superfans they've cultivated as a group following a dramatic split.
Regardless of how close some of these band members were throughout these eras, there is no escaping that the intense pressure and exposure they all faced created rifts and cracks that no one would be able to endure.
Both mentally and emotionally.
Or come back from. The impact that these bands left on their fan base means their legacy lives on.
I would say that despite the trials and tribulations the members of these bands went through, the fact that so many of them have been able to heal and in fact reunite at a later point has continued their impact on pop culture, lasting long beyond their formative years as a group.
So cheers to all the boys and girls who left their mark in the world of Poppy C and gave us a bit,
Or a lot.
true, of drama whilst doing it. And we love the drama.
Mama. Hi guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Poppy C Pod.
Whilst we've collected our information from reputable sources, the opinions and views expressed do not necessarily reflect or represent those who we've discussed in this episode.
As much as we would have loved to have witnessed these Poppy C moments in person,
Sadly, we did not.
and this episode is a combination of in-depth research and our own opinions.
Make sure to check out the Poppy C Pod on Instagram at the Poppy C Podcast.
And at the Poppy C Pod on all other socials.
Please leave us a 5-star review on your podcast streaming service.
It really does make the world of difference to an independent podcast like our own.
Thanks, darlings, and see you next time on
The Poppy C Pod.